morning, children. I am your English teacher. Today we'll continue with the lesson Boli. See, children, as we all have discussed in the class about Boli's life, how she was and how she was taken to the school. Now, about her marriage settlement, we will study, children. See, children, here one night Ramlal was discussing with his wife that he had got a marriage offer for Boli. He asked his wife whether to accept Vishambar's proposal or not. To this, his wife replied that they should definitely accept the proposal because it was suitable for Boli. She supported her view by saying that Vishambar had a big shop, own house, and cash deposit in the bank. And he was not also asking for any dowry. Ramlal was a bit unsure because Bishambar was of his own age and he was handicapped. He also had grown up children from his first marriage. His wife said that there was no harm in it if there was a big age gap between Boli and the groom. She said that they could find any other match for Boli, and she also said that he was from another village. He may not know about Boli's mental condition and her ugly face. So for this, Ramlal accepted, and he was also worried that how Boli would react to it. But her mother replied that Boli was like a dumb cow and she would not say anything. Boli was lying in her bed nearby and listening to her parents' conversation. The bridegroom Bishambar Nath was a rich man. He had a grocery shop where he used to sell food items and household goods. He had a good business, and on the wedding day he came with his friends and family. They were accompanied by a brass band which was playing a popular tunes from Hindi movies. That is, we say now Bhaja Bhajantri and all, he had come with that. And the bridegroom was riding a decorated horse. And Ramlal was very happy to see all this. He had never dreamt of such a grand wedding for his fourth daughter. Boli's elder sisters felt jealous of her good luck. On the wedding day, Boli was brought for the wedding rituals. She was dressed in a red silk sari. When she reached, one of Bishambar's friends asked him to garland the bride. As he was about to put the garland around her neck, a woman removed the veil that covered her face. He saw the blemishes on her face and at once objected to the marks on the bride's face. And his friends answered that she should ignore this as he himself was not young to marry a young girl like her. And Bishambar told Ramlal that he wanted 5,000 rupees in return for marrying an ugly woman like Boli. On hearing the bridegroom's demand, Ramlal got so upset and he went to him and kept his turban at his feet. He requested to him to consider it and requested to accept 2,000 rupees instead of 5,000 as dowry. And Bishambar was firm and said that he could keep his daughter at home then. Ramlal requested him not to do all this as it was his pride in front of the whole village. But Bishambar was adamant on his demand of 5,000 rupees. Ramlal went inside and he brought 5,000 rupees and he gave it to him, counted the money and handed it over to him. Bishambar, now the bridegroom, was happy because he had won the bet. He had asked for the garland. He was ready for the marriage. Boli removed the cover of her face and started at Bishambar. Her eyes were full of disrespect for him. There was no anger or hatred in her eyes. As Bishambar was about to garland her, she struck her hand at the garland as quick as a streak of lightning. She stopped him to put the garland to her neck. And the garland flew and fell into the sacred fire. She threw away her veil too. the veil which she was covering her face. Pitaji means in Hindi father, said Boli in a clear, loud voice, and her father, mother, sister, brothers, relations, and neighbors were started to hear her speak without even the slightest stammer. Boli addressed her father by saying Pitaji. Her voice was clear and she spoke without stammering. Her family was shocked to see this. She continued and said that her father should take back his money as she would not marry this man. Ramlal was shocked to hear all that. Even the relatives started whispering that the girl was shameless as she was refusing to the marriage. Ramlal grew angry and shouted at Boli that she had gone mad because such an act of her could bring disgrace to their family. Boli replied that it was for the sake of her family's honor that she had consented to marry the lame old man, but she was not ready to marry a greedy coward. An old woman commented that Boli was a shameless girl, through they all thought that she was a dull and innocent girl. Boli looked at her with extreme anger and said that everyone thought that she was a fool and that is why they wanted to marry her off to an unkind man. They called her shameless because she could take a stand for herself. Bishambarnath and his friends and family started to return. The bandsmen were not sure of what was happening. They thought that the marriage ceremony had completed and so started playing the music and related to the ending of a wedding ceremony. And Ramlal was in a deep sorrow. He was feeling ashamed, and the flames of the sacred fire died, and after some time, the guests too went away, children. He then asked Boli that would be her future now and who would marry her. Boli replied that she would take care of both her parents and to teach in the same school that had made her learn so much. She sought approval from her teacher who was quietly watching all the drama. She approved Boli's statement. She was deeply satisfied with Boli's response to the whole situation, and it was similar to the way an artist feels when he sees his masterpiece once it is complete. So now, courageously, she told her parents that she would be taking care of them and she would become a teacher in the same school where she learned to speak. Thank you all, children. Finally, here I have completed the lesson and I'll be giving you the question and answers and extracts. Please complete it, children.